Alright, so I'm just going to film the intro as the very last thing I do. I've done that before in this channel, but hey, I'm Rich, this is my show, RMAX Models. We're doing the Mamoli Lexington models, part 12 of the series. And, yeah, so before I go into the rest of it, I just wanted to thank, according to my little YouTube thing in Bob there, 38 subscribers. Thanks! I couldn't find out what your name was if YouTube tells me, but thanks very much, and hope you enjoy. Alright. Off to the rest of the movie I'm trying to make. Please grab all your friends. Yeah. Unfortunately, once again, YouTube doesn't reveal the names all the time, so I can't give shout-outs unless people announce themselves, or I have good reason to, you know, suspect it's one user or the other. I try to call people just to say thanks when I can, and when I can't do it by name, well, I'm missing out on the, greatest compliment one can give in any language, according to, I think it was Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Anyways, so, I have elegantly demonstrated now a new little thing I found. This is one of those little, SLUG fidget things. There's one thing at first, for free, which is nice. Some smart guy designed this thing, and when I saw people, messing with it, playing with it, I figured it'd be a fun thing to show my daughter how the 3D printer does stuff, and, give her something that she would really enjoy. And she did enjoy it. A lot. So much so that that's what happened. So, I have two options. One, a couple options, sorry. One, glue it back together, give it back. No. It's going to break again. It's got some stiff points to it. There's a few tweaks I wanted to, kind of make to the design that would improve it for her specifically. And two is, well, yeah, so I could just leave it alone, or I could, just make it bigger, but then I figured my printer had some trouble printing the initial one anyway, just in terms of getting things far enough away from each other so I had to crack it, or I could reverse engineer it. Sort of. So that's about what I did. Made it thick. I also changed things a little bit. So that's where it is. The things are, I think, 33 millimeters in diameter, maybe 35. The idea being they're not a bit too big to choke on, as well as they're spaced a lot further apart internally, so, they can, instead of being close and having the 3D printer kind of splooge and catch in, they're a little further away, so now they actually will clear, even if I have a really messy 3D printer. So why else am I looking at all these things? What's this shiny stuff? I had to do a little bit of machining in here. It was fun, what can I say? Maybe you'll see me do it at some point, but not today. So, another thing I figured, though, is some of these angles here aren't the best, at least from where I'm standing, covered. So my wife got me a little something. And in the words of the TSA, okay, now bend over. Alright, now that I've prepared a little better. So you'll see me blowing away these little chips. Yeah, I did some machining. It was fun. And this is the part where I censor out some of what I said in time-lapse. Now, I'm sure I'll say this a bunch in normal speed too, but you gotta wonder. One, yeah, I jabbed the TSA, but, I'm making 16 Canons in public on YouTube. As I'm sure I say at some point in normal speed, either the ATF's going to put me on a list for doing that or making this joke. This is the part where I say something about freedom of speech, but that's just thorny enough. I don't want to touch that. I'm going to pull myself out of that hornet's nest now. Alright, a bit of self-aggrandizement, you could say, before getting back to finishing some of the paint job work. Okay, I think no, that's not it. That one was oh boy. Oh hey, okay, that's not so bad. It broke. Kind of sucks, but yeah. All right. Anyways, this is really cool, right? And it does, bend. And it's really neat, right? Well, as I said, my kid broke this. My 3-year-old broke this in less than 5 minutes. That ain't gonna break. Also, you'll notice these links are a lot freer. Basically, what I did is I looked at the, you know, little bit of the file, a little bit of, you know, how this thing works. Seems what he's done is he made a bunch of, you know, hemispherical shapes nested into each other in such a manner that, like, one thing wraps around another and grips. So you can see right here, this little thing will grip into a, you know, slot. There's a slot there. So I just copied that. Hey, it's the thing at first, you know, share-alike license. I think it's Izia or something was the guy's username. But, yeah. This, gonna have a hard time breaking it. I know, I might be a butterball, but I'm like a 320-pound butterball, and this takes some oomph. I did a back-of-the-envelope calculation, probably be like a, give or take, I'm gonna guess it'll break at about 75 pounds. My kids ain't breaking this. She's had one of these like all day, played with it off and on. She seems to like the thing. That or she loves the gesture and wants me to be happy. Which, you know, yeah, that does make me happy. Okay, time to make you guys happier by getting back to this. Okay, and me too, not gonna lie. Also, weird place to put it, but just to let y'all know, I did put my version on Thingiverse as well under, you know, the username Armamax, so you can just go look that up, and if y'all want to print it out on yours, I hope that I've provided enough instruction. I also provided not just an STL file, but step files, so you can manipulate it in your own CAD programs. Okay, now to get to the actual bread and butter of this channel and tell you about how I made this model, eh? Oh boy, battery's dying. Well, good news is I have the change. Okay, we're gonna end this clip short here to change the battery. And we're like, what, 6 something in, and I haven't done model making stuff yet. So, as you saw, I 3D printed these cannons out and their carriages. You'll see me with a small black brush painting the black stripes as well as the little dots that represent the axles black. You'll also see me finishing up the paint on the cannons with black as well, and as well as the paint on the gun carriage itself with a brown. So what I end up doing, and it looks pretty good on the model, is at first I did some oil type washes where I thin out oil paint, put it in the little cracks that I did for the spaces between the planks that built those carriages, and then I would dry brush. But I found that it gets a little tedious, or I just wanted to try another approach. So you'll see me later, what I do is instead of using dry brushing for highlights, I start manually painting them on before the end, as well as just using the black paint to make, the lined in depths of the on the gun carriages. And I think it worked pretty well. I did the metal band bits of them in black. I did the, as I said, I used like a thin down black for the spaces between things, and of course black for the cannons, and gray for the highlights on the cannons, and all that. And you'll see me do it over and over and over again. So right now I'm still doing the dry brushing version of this, where I paint black the cannon first, and clean it off, and then I'll take another brush. You saw me do that. Also, what I do with the brushes sometimes is if the airbrush has left a rough finish behind, I'll use that big flat brush there in about the middle of my pad to go ahead and clean things off. Okay, looks like there I changed a camera battery. And as you see, I've been adding things together, and I found that using the tip of a scalpel but upside down works really good for a precision super glue applicator. So I'll be using that in the future, just to apply smaller amounts of super glue. Oh, the drill. So if I need it, I must have put it back, but I drilled out the cannons too. That was the last episode of this. Hey, if you're watching this far, thank you very much. You're driving up those analytics. I gotta hide some joke or something in these time lapse, something uproariously funny to convince people to keep watching. Then I'd have to promise it in the beginning, and then I'd better deliver at this point. I mean, I guess I could ask FedEx about how to... No, they never got my stuff right. Okay, that's a bit mean. But as you can see, once again, yet another cannon, yet another, brush paint job. And you're about to see a little bit of me doing that in normal speed, along with some other little funny thing. Alright, let's go ahead and add some more to the mix. Oh, careful. There we go. Alrighty. Now, I've heard something about, like, there being block and tackle or something associated with these guns on ships. Wait a minute. Now I'm curious, and I just want to see something. Yeah, I'm definitely taller. And I'm betting that that being slightly taller is what is making it. Come on. I'm slightly taller. I'm guessing that's what would have made it difference. No, still, yeah, still playing games there. Well, at least I now know that it wasn't just that I made the cannons a little different or off scale. So anyways, back to making more cannons. So I try to make the appearance a little more realistic just by covering up the bottom with paint. I saw that since this resin is transparent, if it looks like there's light hitting it from underneath, it kind of throws off a lot of the effect. Probably not going to be a big thing with the rest of the boat, but, you know, better to, try to do a good job, do it right the first time. So this is all 50 times speed, by the way, because there's 16 cannons to get through. That's all other than the little, slinky things, is really all I did this week, the past 2 weeks, sorry. Good news, though, is we're getting to the point now where I can actually start doing back to stuff with the wood and everything again, because, yeah, after these well, there is one more thing. And I'll mention it at the end of this thing, which is the steering wheel. Because I got to replace that because a camera fell on it. Just like this piece of this cannon fell in the last few moments of this. Guess it's a constant no matter the time of day and night I do it. Part of that last time lapse was me, the very last bit was me looking for this little piece because it fell. But I found it. Guess nothing for it than to put it back on, and alright. Alright. I just had a genius thought, after doing so many of these cannons. Again, do the top to the bottom. One of them is maybe I should have just, done these straight with paint from the get-go and ignored the whole airbrushing thing. Might have gone, a little faster. But second, more importantly, is maybe next time I should start with this music in the background. So then everybody falls asleep and it's always like they've seen the whole video. Okay, enough of self-depreciating humor. I'm almost done with these candies, usually like the last two. Then I put the last ones on. I think I actually do that in normal speed just for everybody's convenience. And, but yeah, as you can see, paint things up, light it. And there we go with the last paint there on highlights, which is just me really carefully, a little thinner than my normal paint, actually, probably more like 2/3 thinner. With these for these tiny brushes, just tracing just the thinnest of highlights in the edges themselves, not even dry brushing for these last ones. And I kind of like that effect too, so I don't know, just another thing to add to the repertoire of skills. Okay, here's the part I think where I end up putting them all on the boat. Sorry for the jumpiness of the slow-mo today. And boom. Now, part of me thinks I should do an honest comparison. But let's see. Yeah, this is a little shorter. But I've got the little side details, and I've got some extra details that this lacks, like the little, block under here. I've got that. Yeah, I guess this has the trailer hitch. This doesn't. But and now I have all 6 of the final resin guns done. So we can go ahead and further miff the ATF by 1, making that joke, and 2, yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably going to point to a few places, but last places, alright. And then we will have all the cannons in, and then I can worry about either later this week or maybe in the next vid how to replace the steering wheel setup. Alright, there we go. Cool. Alright. Sorry, I guess I did the comparison at normal speed, but here we go. Putting on the cannons. I found that for some applications, using the tweezers actually to hold the drop glue and slip it in under is better. But yep, now we have all 16 cannons, and the last thing that the boat needed that I put on with the end of this film, which I hope y'all enjoyed, by the way, is the little figurehead that started this whole crusade of printing parts in the first place. Enjoy! Wait a minute, just when I thought I'd have nothing else left to really do this week, I see that this needs to be fully done up, or at least done up enough to go on the front and be the little figurehead thing. Kind of embarrassing, considering that was a piece that I noticed really didn't look right in the first place, and made me go, yeah, let's just go ahead and do this myself. Again, not to jab the the model kit company. I'm sure they did the best they could with resources and money they had, but Jesus. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and let this thing dry out, and then I'll just fill in the rest and dry brush, I guess. Wait. Nope. There we go. Alright, so almost at the end here. I'll probably, after I've put this thing on, I'll actually start editing, but why not just, come on, there we go. Do a bit of brushing just to get some of the schmutz out of there. And, well, seeing as I've been having such great good luck with it, I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, where'd it go? Okay, first I'm going to soak this brush and try to get it to be a bit better cleaned. Forgive me while I pour the water in off camera. Alright. So step 1, clean this brush. I'll probably need it later for dry brushing, but that's going to be in about a minute. First, there we go, nice, clean, able to split apart again, good. Next, will this do? Perfectly, it will do just fine. Yeah, wait, there we go. Yeah, alright. So now I'm just going to take this really dark brown that Games Workshop has. Because it's pretty close to what the, it looks sort of close to what this is, but it's not really, it's a good bit darker. And I'm going to use that to line this in. Come on. Perfect. 1. 2. A little more filling in there. Alrighty. Now, I could, I will actually finish this one off with dry brushing. It's faster, it's a nice outro, and it'll help to get the kind of wood grain effect going on. The Canons are a bit small to really notice that, or really any of the highlighting work that I had to do. But, well, this, we will notice it here. Okay, a bit too much. Come on. There we go. Honestly, I can leave that there because it actually isn't too bad when it's, gets that little bit drier. Actually doesn't look bad at all. That looks just about realistic. Yay! What is it? What is it? Happy little mistakes, right? Alright, let's go ahead then. Put that there. Yeah, I'm using... Yeah, I should probably not do that. There we go, just lean it there. Okay, so now, how fitting that I end this episode with the original thing I was hoping to replace. That led to this whole orgy of new bits and, 16 Canons and probably a very angry ATF later. I don't know, but it's fun to make fun of them. They're part of the government. Why not? They deserve it. Alright. That adds something there. I dare say that adds a little something. That does add a little something. That doesn't really even look out of place. Alright, cool. Well, till next time as I angle this up for the outro shot. There we go. So, bad camera. Stop looking at my crotch. Yeah, so, so, this has been Mamoli Lexington Part 12. I am Rich. This is my show, or Max Models. If you're still watching this, you, sir, ma'am, other, are a beast. And, alright. Like, share, subscribe. Hooray! Okay. Peace out. One little thing, though. Guess I got a printer replacement for that steering wheel, huh?